much the beach shut down.
The Holland State Park shut down midday for the first time in recent memory. More than 24 people are breathing a sigh of relief tonight that they were able to get out of the water alive. 24-hour News 8's Crystal Hilliard was on the beach as rescue crews raced to save swimmer after swimmer.
We noticed the wind when we got here, but you get in the water and you just think it's fun.
But red flags were flying and no swimming signs are posted here. Today it seemed not everyone paid attention. Nervous giggles masked the seriousness of what happened.
I thought I was going to die today. The water was pulling me towards the rocks and I just thought I'm going to drown.
I tried my best to get to the other side, but eventually I got too tired and I just gave up.
They threw me the life ring. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I'm drowning.
This area of the beach is called the danger zone because the current is so strong, it pulls you towards this pier, and the only way out of it is over these rocks.
No matter how you try and swim against it, you can't even stay in the same place. You're getting pressed that way no matter what.
Which explains these bloody legs and toes. This entire group walked away with survival cuts and bruises, climbing over these rocks.
It's a panic situation where they're panicking about whether they're going to live or not.
Jerry Murphy was just trying to enjoy his vacation today, but ended up saving nearly a dozen people.
I mean, it gets a little bit frustrating when people are still going out in the water, but it's scary to see people, fighting for their lives.
One got separated, one's that way.
Yep.
And then there's 3.
Sure enough, they were right.
They're not getting in back then.
The group of 4 these officials were watching during our interview were pulled out of the water moments later over these sharp rocks. Within the same 2 hours, a 14-year-old was pulled out the water and rushed to the hospital. This is called learning the hard way.
I'm definitely going to pay a lot more attention to the weather and the flags, of course.
When your parents warn you about undertows, it's real. I didn't believe it.
Crystal Hilliard reporting. Holland State Park, not the only part of the lakeshore dealing with those rip currents today. A 13-year-old Scottville girl is in critical condition tonight after nearly drowning at Charles Mears State Park Beach in Pentwater. Authorities say the currents pulled her away from her family and friends. She was unconscious when she was pulled from the water. A medical helicopter took her to Spectrum in Grand Rapids. As we said, she's in critical condition at last check.
Rip currents are obviously the big problem out on the big lake. So how do you know if the water you're wading into is safe?
Storm teammates Bill Steffen joining us now. Bill, you can tell just by looking at the water, can't you?
Well, take a look at this. This is an overhead view of Holland State Park, and here's what was going on today. We had a very strong north wind. We had a steady wind of 20 to 30 miles an hour. What that does is it pushes the water. It pushes the water along. Now, what you have right here is like a dam. This is the breakwater out here, and the water can't get through that. So where's the water going to go? Once it hits that breakwater, it can't go up on the beach, can't go down, can't go up. The only place it can go is out, and you get this strong rip current pulling you out. So again, you have to anticipate days like this with a strong wind. When you have a strong north wind like this, then you have places on the north sides of the breakwaters here where you get the strong rip current developing. At the Grand Haven State Park, it's just the opposite because the beach is on the south side. There, when you have a strong south wind, you get a similar rip current started. Remember to pay attention to our safe water graphics. We send tweets out when we have information like this to warn you that you might get in a situation like this. But again, remember, when you have a strong north wind perpendicular to the breakwater, you're going to get the strong current developing. And if you get in this area, you're going to be pulled right out into open water.
Okay, Bill, thank you. You can find out the condition of your favorite beach before you ever leave the house. We have a special beach forecast section every day on woodtv.com. And if you're on the go, sign up for Rip Current text alerts on your phone.